What if I told you that one currency controls almost the entire world? From your local grocery stores to billion-dollar oil deals, one currency sits quietly at the center of it all. Today, you're going to discover how one currency became the king of global economy and why the world still trusts it more than any other. In this video, we'll explore how the US dollar became the top currency in the world, why other currencies can't easily take its place, and what it means for you and the global economy. So let's start with a quick thought. If money is power, then US dollar? Definitely a superpower. So let's break it down. A top currency is the one that the world uses the most for international trade, finance, or saving. It's the currency that central banks store in reserves, and it's also the currency that people trust the most during uncertain times. Right now, by far, that currency is definitely the US dollar. About 90% of global forex transactions involve the dollar. About half of the global trade is invoiced in it, and around 60% of world's foreign exchange reserves are also in US dollars. So how did this green piece of paper become the most strong and powerful money of the entire world? Even today, countries keep huge piles of US dollars in their central banks. People use it for trade, and investors buy US bonds for safety. But why? Here are some reasons. First, the US has the largest and most trusted economy. It's incredibly productive, innovative, and powerful. Even if it faces recessions or political issues, investors still see it as a safe place for their money. Second, the US financial system is deep and liquid. That means it's easy to move money in and out, and there's a huge market for US Treasury bonds. Third, trust matters. The dollar has a reputation, people trust it. Even in countries where local currencies collapse, people run to the dollar. Think of countries like Zimbabwe and Lebanon. The dollar becomes a second currency in people's wallets. Fourth, global trade depends on it. Big commodities like oil, gold, and wheat are all priced in dollars. If a country wants to buy oil, it often needs to first buy dollars. You might ask, why not the euro, yuan, or even Bitcoin? Well, they have their strengths, but they also have big problems. Euro, for example, it is quite strong, but Europe isn't united politically. And during crises like the Greece's debt problem, people usually worry about Euro's future. The Chinese yuan is growing, but China has capital controls. That means that you cannot freely move money in and out of the country. Plus, the Chinese government control its value, which makes other people hesitant. As for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, they're still too new, too volatile, and not widely accepted in global trade. So US dollar remains the king, because no one else can play the game better right now. For the US, yes, mostly, but other countries also need dollar, for which they have to buy US bonds. This way, the US can borrow money cheaply, which ultimately gives America an enormous financial power. But this also puts a great pressure on other countries, because if the dollar gets too strong, it might hurt their economies because their imports will get more expensive and it's harder to pay. It's like having a neighbor whose party is so loud that you have to fix your entire schedule. Yes, it's possible, but not anytime soon. Many countries are trying to de-dollarize. For example, China and Russia are trading more in their own currencies. BRICS countries are looking for ways to settle trade without using the US dollar. But in my opinion, these efforts are very small as compared to the hype of US dollar. For the dollar to lose its crown, another currency needs to be just as stable, widely accepted, and easy to use. Until then, the US dollar still wears the crown. So what does this all mean for you? Even if you're not in the US, the dollar still affects your life. It shapes the prices of imported goods, affects global markets, and even influences your local currency's value. Understanding the dollar's role help you understand how the world economy works and why some currencies matter more than the other. So the next time you see that green bill or the dollar sign, remember, it's not just paper, it's power. If you learned something new today, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more financial insights, and comment down below. Do you think any other currency can replace the US dollar in the next 10 years?